Hello, I'm Gail, and I'm hanging out with Chelynne today. She is a current member of Connect Work on Maine, and she's amazing. If you don't know her yet, you will need to go find out more about her. We will put links in the description of this video so you can follow up. But I wanted to have Chelynne on today so we could talk about a little bit about the drink she's making for us tomorrow at our happy hour event and at our networking event. And yeah, so with that, I'll let Chelynne go for it.
Well, hello. Welcome. I've got a practice cocktail here. Wanted to make sure that I taste test before demonstrating how to make it with people. So tomorrow for the virtual networking event, we'll be having the Holloway Old Fashioned. So I'm going to take a taste.
I'm really excited about it.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's really good. Oh,
you didn't taste it like after you made it?
No, I thought I would taste it live.
Yeah.
So it's a classic old-fashioned recipe, but we're using Jameson Black Barrel because it's the day before St. Patrick's Day. So I wanted to have a little Irish tie in there. But this particular whiskey has really similar qualities to bourbon. So it's a perfect substitute in your favorite bourbon cocktails, like an old fashioned. It's actually aged in double charred barrels that were used to age bourbon. So it picks up those same qualities and characteristics, and it's a really nice substitute. And it has kind of vanilla and citrus notes to it. So we're going to use orange bitters. So it is a very nice harmony in the flavors. And I chose like an old fashioned drink because the vibe at the co-work is very much a mid-century modern Mad Men-esque kind of vibe. And the old fashioned was the cocktail of the show Mad Men. Like everybody ordered old fashions every time they went out or just had them in the office. So I felt like it was the perfect drink for us to make tomorrow for this virtual happy hour event.
I'm really excited. Do you want to explain a little bit about why you chose the name you did?
Yes. So it's named the Holloway Old Fashioned after the character Joan Holloway on the show Mad Men. And when the show starts, like I was obsessed with the show. I absolutely love it. Maybe it's because I've been in marketing my whole life, but it was just great. So Joan starts out as like the head of the secretaries at the first advertising firm. And she very much is in charge of everybody, gives everybody like the lay of the land, especially if you come in as a new secretary, like Peggy does. But by the end of the show, she is branching out on her own and is ready to start her own firm. And she sits down with Peggy and invites her to, start a firm with her. And that would have been the most amazing female powerhouse duo. Ultimately, Peggy decides it's not for her. She's going to stay where she's at because she's still going to flourish and have an awesome career as a woman in advertising. But the fact that Joan goes from being head of secretaries to starting her own ad firm in the 60s is just a really awesome nod to how far women have come and how hard things have been over the years. And this is Women's History Month, so I thought it was the perfect kind of nod to that heritage.
I loved it. I didn't know what Chelynne would come up with. I had no idea. I just sort of gave some parameters. And Joan's actually my favorite character. So when you came back with that, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love it. So I'm freaking excited. So there's a blog post on the website, which will link in the description, that gives a little bit like, if you don't have a certain tool, here's a place you can go look for an alternative. Because I actually looked this up this morning, where would be a good place for people to go buy orange bitters?
Orange bitters are kind of hard. Like some liquor stores will have them, some of our grocery stores may have them. It really depends. Sometimes it is like a special order online kind of thing. And, the state of Pennsylvania is hard to order liquor. Only certain places are willing to ship to you. So it is a challenge. As I go through the recipe, I will give some substitutes because maybe you couldn't find a bottle of Jameson Black Barrel, or maybe you just didn't have the money to buy.
Right.
It's a more expensive whiskey, so maybe you just didn't have the funds. But I'll kind of talk through what some substitutes would be. If you can't find orange bitters, you can always use, Angostura or pay shards, like whatever you have. Bitters are a key component though, so you need some sort of bitters.
Right.
You can usually find at least the classic style bitter at the liquor store.
Okay, cool. I wanted to ask because I was like, oh, if I'm thinking about this, I bet someone else might be thinking about
But
this
I
too.
do recommend having an orange because we'll throw an orange peel in to garnish, and you can always squeeze a little bit from the peel, and that'll still give you the citrus flavor.
Do you think it matters what kind of orange?
No, whatever looks good, whatever is, we're still technically in winter, so citrus could still be in season. Whatever's fresh that you can find.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Can you share a little bit about like a takeaway or how you felt about the first time when you went to one of these networking events that we started recently?
Yeah. So I didn't know what to expect because just when you go to any networking event, you don't know what to expect. You don't know how much you're going to really get out of it. I feel like a lot of times you just end up talking to the people you know and not necessarily meeting new people. So even though, the people that were on, I already knew all of them. But we had kind of a structured format, so each of us got the opportunity to share something that we were working on and having problems with, and then everyone gave feedback, which was so helpful. So I actually left that evening with a list of ideas of things I could do to overcome a challenge, and to me that was well worth the hour spent talking to people that I know, and maybe getting to know people that you have only heard of before or don't even know at all.
Yeah, I think when we get a chance to, we don't always have an opportunity to be able to ask for constructive feedback from people who know us. Like we only maybe see each other in like one or two instances. And so maybe what we're working on like never shows up, or they only hear about that and they don't hear about, the hard parts of things. I think it's neat when we get to have those moments, which is really it's what I was going for, because with where we are, chances are you run into everybody. Not that you know everyone, but in your case specifically, you might know most of the people. But I feel like you know most of the people.
I know a lot of people, but I'm always anxious to meet new people and learn about them and what they have going on. So
I love it. Well, I'm not going to keep you, so thank you very much for coming on, and I can't wait to have you show everyone how to make this drink tomorrow. And I'm really excited. I want to see how it goes. I want to see how you feel about it. I think I'm going to love it because I love orange juice and I love whiskey, and I just love orange. I just love all those flavors, so I'm really down for it. But I'm daydreaming about how we can actually keep it in stock at the cowork so that we can make it, which would be fun. So
that'd be fun. It'd become our signature cocktail.
Right? That's what I've been telling everybody. Guess what? I don't have branding I'm in love with, but I'm going to have a signature cocktail. So thank you so much for the effort and the thought you put into it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, make sure you register so that you can join us tomorrow.
Yes, you must register. It's key. It's key. There'll be a link to that in the description. Thank you so much, Chelynne, for coming on and chatting with me. I sincerely appreciate it. And for everyone else, we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. And if you can't make it tomorrow, we'll see you next month.
Yes.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.